This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom. I was just about to say, like, how are you?
Well,
Instead
nice.
of the
You
normal
gotta
way.
Introduce yourself.
I
You've
got.
only done it.
I'm Tom and you're Tim.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little sleepy, but I'll rally.
Yeah.
I think this is
I'm starting off the podcast very confused.
tottering old fool.
Where am I? That kind of goes along with something I want to talk about in a minute. But how
Okay.
are you?
I'm good. I'm a little tired, but I think drinking this beer will wake me up.
Yeah.
Do you like when we were younger? I
Mhm.
remember going out on a Friday night
Yeah.
and like being like, okay, it's 11 o'clock, time to go to the bar.
Yeah.
And I'd be
time to start drinking.
Yeah, and I'd be tired from like a week. Like I'd be like, I could fall asleep right now, but I'll go out. And then after like 3 beers, I did feel energized.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the case anymore, right?
I
I mean, no, I can't drink 3
no.
beers.
Yeah. Well, and
I'll
also,
probably die.
well, and also, you'd be drinking 3 beers in like my small home office, not a like bar. With the bars we used to go to, they used to do a lot of Hawaiian tropics bikini contests.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that's what
I
was
just
getting
would
you
go,
so.
"Ay, ay, ay,"
That was what
yeah.
was getting you so excited, Tim. That was what woke you up. It wasn't the beer. I'm surprised you don't remember that.
Yeah, no, I think I vaguely remember all the bikini babes.
Yeah, bikini babes. Yeah, and they
Hawaiian
would.
Tropics, what is that? Sunscreen?
Yeah, I think they're just sunscreen. Like they probably got maybe like a
All right.
flip flops, maybe.
Older people will say suntan lotion. Is that a holdover from when like when it was the opposite of sunscreen?
Yeah, where it was just
like,
oil to cook yourself.
yeah,
with.
this is a way to make the sun hurt you even more
Yeah,
instead of protecting you.
but I think I say suntan lotion.
I do too, but I think that's just from the older generation. I say
Yeah.
I've upgraded some of my vocabulary.
Oh well, that's
because of woke.
Well, Tim, I don't know if you got the memo. We're going back.
Ah.
Everything you're gonna have to start calling it suntan lotion again.
Yeah, it's about time.
I just remember as a kid that being part of what was confusing about it to me, because when you're a kid, you don't. I mean, honestly, this is still true today. Like, I don't believe something like suntan lotion. Like, you're telling me how I put this on and it's gonna protect me. Yeah, right.
Right.
I can't even see it anymore. It turned invisible. How is this gonna work? And I feel
Wait,
like
so what you're saying is that you don't think sunscreen is an actual thing that works?
well, I'm saying as a kid, you're like, I don't want to do that. It's greasy and icky.
Yeah.
I just want to go, play.
I didn't mind. I wasn't a little freaking pest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like put this on. And it's like, okay, I'll do it. It'll take 2 seconds.
Yeah.
No skin off my ass.
You're like, oh, all right. I guess I'll take off my little sailor boy cap and stop sucking on my lolly for a minute while you put the
It's a regular
sunscreen on
little
me.
Lord Fauntleroy.
Yeah. No, I hated having sunscreen put on me when I was a kid. And
That's the problem right there. I put it on myself.
when you
I
were a
was
kid.
independent. Yeah.
Oh no, when I did it myself, then I would just get horrific sunburns. I couldn't be trusted to, like, I could be trusted to, I guess, like, start it or whatever, do the majority of it, but like,
Well, you can't reach every part of your back.
yeah, but my parents would like have to watch and then
Yeah.
be like, yeah, all right, you missed all of this.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
you
Yeah, I'm
didn't
sure that
even
happened
do
with
your
me.
arms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but I hate sunburns.
yeah. Hey, who doesn't?
Um.
Oh, there's probably some freaks that are like, oh, my thing is sunburns.
Probably, yeah, like some kink
Yeah.
freaks.
Yeah. Exactly, Tom. You're right.
Is that kink shaming, calling people kink freaks?
People who intentionally get sunburns for.
I think that's being a kink freak.
Yeah. No, I don't think
It's bad.
we
It's like
might be
long-term
shaming
bad.
it, but like those people
For the
deserve to
greater
be
good.
shamed. Yeah.
Because we're trying to save you from the dangers of skin cancer.
I also no. Well, that I'm trying to say. I don't know. Whatever. I don't
Like,
care
if you
what
like
happens to
getting
you if you're if
spanked-
that's what you like.
If you like getting spanked with like a riding crop, I'm fine. I'm not going to call you a freak for that.
what
To each
about-
his own.
no.
Because that's not going to do long-term damage.
Well, that could do a lot of bruising that can damage tissues long term.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why
take
I
it
don't think I
easy.
think we should take the ostensible, oh, I'm looking out for your own good, and just be like, no,
Just
the
label them all
riding crop
freaks.
thing is fine because like, whatever.
Yeah.
And the sunburn thing
Yeah,
is like, I've
where-
gotten a sunburn, I don't like it. You're wrong for liking it.
Yeah, where's the line?
Yeah.
So you're saying they're all just freaks.
No.
Anyone with any kind of
No,
sexuality.
that's not. You weren't even listening to anything I said.
No,
just the
not
sunburn.
really.
The sunburn freaks are
The
freaks.
sunburn. And why is that?
Because getting a sunburn is bad. So if you like it, you're dumb and bad.
Yeah, but it's bad because like long term it's bad.
No,
could
it's
damage-
bad just because having a sunburn sucks.
Yeah,
and if
but-
you like it, you
okay,
suck.
What if you like getting slapped in the face? That's your thing.
All right.
That's not bad, getting slapped in the face?
I've never gotten slapped in the face, so I don't know.
I've slapped you in the face on stage, Tim.
I kind of liked it.
Oh no.
Well, it was more of a
Oh,
performative
he's
thing.
a
I was getting off of the performance of it. Yeah.
You were the public humiliation of
Yeah,
it.
exactly. That's what I think. What do we? What,
That
you
ma-
forget your
that
name
makes
and
sense.
suddenly I'm being attacked.
That makes sense then why at the end of the show you refused to get up from your chair. You said you just needed a few
All
minutes.
right. You said you had something to talk about up top
Oh, yeah.
before we get into Aykroyd talk.
Yeah, I had just like an old man complaint of the week.
Oh, Jesus Christ! What did I
Can,
ask?
can this be like a new recurring topic?
That's all this is. It's been a recurring topic for 15 years.
No, we used to not be old men.
Yeah, but we
yeah,
acted
but we
like
still,
it.
yeah, we still have the complaints of old men. No, just seeing these old men hanging out in the McDonald's a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Hearing their complaints about stuff really spoke to me. Here's my complaint, my old man complaint of the week.
Okay, here we go.
I don't like these narrow slots they got on the mailboxes now.
Oh, yeah. It renders a mailbox unusable.
Yeah, is this only in New York or
Only
is this,
in New York. You know what they say.
No, or is it like a national thing?
I don't know. I don't leave New York.
Yeah.
Every time I leave New York, I'm like,
something
this
bad happens.
is going to be great. I'm going to really enjoy it. And after like 15 minutes, I start to like...
After 15 minutes, you're like, oh, I need a slice.
not this.
Stab.
Oh, you call this pizza?
You call this entertainment? I need a Broadway show.
I'm always disappointed when I go out of town that they don't have Broadway shows there.
Where's Idina Menzel? What show is she on in this town?
You think that you think that I'm expecting that Idina Menzel
Or her
is...
regional equivalent.
They do have regional equivalents. They're just
yeah,
bad.
but it's not that good.
Yeah.
The regional equivalent.
Yeah, like
just
the Poughkeepsie
somebody
Idina
that-
Menzel sucks.
Yeah. It's like, that person is the best, but they're an accountant. That's
Yeah.
mostly what they do.
It's like just this different, really loud lady. Idina Menzel. Is she the one that
Adele
goes like?
Dazeem?
Is she the one that goes like in the Wicked commercial?
Yeah, yeah.
In the musical.
The old
commercial?
one, yeah, the old musical commercial.
I can't tell if that sounds good or if that sounds terrible. Do
Well,
you know this about me? When
Yeah.
someone's really belting it out,
Uh-huh.
I can't tell if
And
it's
you are a trained musician.
I am.
Yeah.
But when, especially a cappella,
Uh-huh. Which
like-
is how you like to listen to most of your music.
yeah. I mostly listen to pentatonic.
Which honestly, Tim, it's like you hear, he's a trained musician. No, I'll listen to him. But then you hear what your favorite genre of music is. And it's like, wow. You gotta
well,
wait.
I like predominantly white a cappella groups, young people,
Like college groups.
arranging hip hop songs.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
and singing those for a cappella,
Especially
right?
if they're a little self-aware about it.
Yeah.
about the
Yeah,
odd
that's my
juxtaposition.
preferred. Yeah, that's my preferred genre of music. It's cool. Is what
Yeah.
it is.
God, I remember like that idea first came out, I think, when we were in college.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, like when or like when Ben Folds would cover like
yeah, I forget what he would cover.
one of the like songs off the Chronic or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
And like, would he say the N word all the time?
Oh,
Ben
I
Folds
don't know.
Probably would. Yeah.
And then there was like a country version of like a song, or like an acoustic guitar version.
Dynamite Hack did Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And like people ate that shit up at the time. And I remember just saying like, this is the lamest shit I've ever heard. I hate that everybody likes it. This is not going to age well. And one day I'll be
That's the one thing you were right about.
And one day I'm going to talk on a podcast about it.
You should have put money on that. You should have bet everybody. You think this is cool? Talk to me in 2025.
Tim, I went to every casino I could find trying to take the bet.
Anyway, you watch American Idol, right?
Mhm.
And they'll show somebody and they'll really belt it out. And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know if this is...
Bad
they're
or
all
good.
if they're all gonna like stand up and applaud. Like this is like during the initial auditions.
Yeah.
Or if they're playing it as a joke of like, look how bad this person
Right.
is. It all sounds the same. It just sounds like somebody going like, ah!
Well, and I think that's like a common thing that bad singers do, is that they'll like belt it out.
Yeah.
And I think they're like you.
But
they
good singers
can't
belt
tell.
it out too.
Right. But the bad singers can't tell what's good belting and bad belting either.
Right.
And they're usually the ones surprised on American Idol. Well, have you seen the movie version of Wicked?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Have you?
Yeah,
you did. You
I
sat
saw
like
it in the
you sat in the
theater.
front row.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You wanted to
front
get as
row.
close together. You wanted to be like, I want to see just how green this lady is.
Yeah, and I thought
How
that
green? Hey, Tom, how green was she?
she was very green. They did a good job making her green. I thought, like it was like
How did they do that? Do you think?
who knows? It looked very. It was makeup, right? It wasn't like special effects.
I didn't
was
see
it?
the film.
Yeah, well, you're asking me
Well, I've only heard word of the green lady. I haven't seen her.
I thought they did the makeup really well, where it's like that looks like a person. Like it wasn't just one shade of green. You know, it's like that looks like a person with green skin. It doesn't look like a person wearing green paint.
Okay.
But she is the one that belts it out in the movie at the end.
Cynthia Erivo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you see that part, you're going to go, that's good belting.
That's right.
That's the nice belting.
Okay. No. I've seen her sing other songs, and she sings them nice.
Tim, you got to hear her belt the
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Okay.
And they got the flying monkeys are there, I think, during that part.
Yeah. You know what? I've just...
Also, that movie, part one ends, and if at the end it was like, and to be continued in The Wizard of Oz, I'd be like, oh yeah, they tied up every loose end, and it ends with like how we know The Wizard of Oz to begin.
So, what do you think's going to happen in part two?
I think it's going to be a lot
The
of
Wizard of Oz?
fluff. I think it's going to be a lot of vamping.
Yeah.
A lot of like they're going to be saying later like, ooh, sorry, we forgot to make some edits.
Is
there's going to be a lot
there's going to be an apology in the movie?
No, later, because they're going to let some scenes like run long.
Yeah.
Some scenes are going to show a few takes in a row.
Okay.
Just to pad it out to, fill
They don't
the
have to
time.
put out a movie, but they
Tim,
probably
they
should. A lot
gotta.
of people saw the first one.
Yeah, there's too much money on the table.
Yeah.
They sang all the songs
I
in
just
the first.
hate
There
that
are no songs
they're going to
left.
make this movie for the money, right?
Yeah, make it for the love.
Yeah, the love of the green lady.
The love of Frank
Baum.
Baum?
Frank Elbaum?
Like a baum for my soul. That's the Wizard of Oz.
I was never a Wizard of Oz person. I didn't like the urban legends around it.
Yeah.
Scared
about,
me.
like the munchkins hanging themselves.
Yeah.
But then there was like real shit where I think like the first guy that they made the Tin Man, they put, I don't know, just like poison on him to make him silver.
It almost killed him.
It almost killed him, so they're like, shoot, now we gotta get a different guy.
They originally cast a real lion as the lion.
Really?
Yeah, and he bit one of the kids.
Wow.
Yeah, so they had to. We'll recast.
How
the
were they
lion
gonna
with a
have
man.
him do the songs and
They
stuff?
got one that could sing. I don't know. Hollywood magic, I guess.
Wow. They get that
Maybe
one.
CGI they were planning on
They
using.
get the one from the MGM logo. And
Yeah.
because he can really belt out that
Really.
that roar.
Yeah. What else went wrong on that?
On what? The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
I think those were the big ones. Oh, I think like Judy Garland was like high the whole time.
Yeah.
Like on
She's
pills
cool.
though. No, not in that way. I think
Yeah.
she was like maybe like had an addiction problem. or
Yeah.
was
Like the
being
studio was giving her
overworked.
pills so
Yeah.
she could work 22 hours a day.
Yeah, they're like, just take
Yeah.
some of these pep pills. You'll be fine.
I thought you were going to do another joke one like I did the lion one. I thought
That was a joke?
Dan Aykroyd.
Well,
but first.
Well, Tim, I'd be remiss if I didn't finish my thoughts about the mail.
Yeah.
Uh,
The mailboxes. So you're talking about the mailbox the mailboxes
it
that are
used to
around
be,
town.
yeah, that you just pull down the
Yeah.
and then you drop something in the bin and close the door back up. Or the door just sprang back up on its own. It was
Yeah.
fine. But now, at least in New York City, they said people were using fishing poles to get fishing letters and packages out of there
Mm-hmm.
too much. So they replace all the doors with just like a steel plate with a small letter opening.
It's hard to get like even a like postcard into there.
Yeah.
feel like
So
you really
that's what I
shove
was
it
going to
in.
say, that today I went to mail. I had my mom's dog's collar was accidentally left at my apartment, and I wanted to mail it back to her because it's like I'll probably be back in a week or two, but like you shouldn't be without this, and you shouldn't have to go buy another one.
Right.
This is great. I'll drop it in the mail.
Hey, have you heard about the mail? This thing is great.
Yeah. It wouldn't fit in the damn slot.
I know.
A dog collar.
Tom, a letter barely fits in there.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, well, this isn't defeating the like now it's too hard to get a fishing pole in there and steal things. It's just
What are you talking about a fishing pole, by the way?
or a fishing line at least they would use
Okay.
to like grab things and pull them out.
There's nothing worthwhile sent through the mail.
There's-
Oh, I got a dog
well-
collar. What are you going to do with that?
Well, there definitely isn't now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was people were stealing checks and shit.
I thought it was people were like putting like bombs in there. I guess I would have heard about that if somebody put a bomb in the mailbox
Yeah.
in New York City.
I mean, but
like, have
they
you ever
gave
seen
us-
the movie Blown Away?
yeah. But they gave us all these reasons, and I think the reason was just, hey, look, we figured out if we put a fucking steel plate on the mailbox instead of a nice big welcoming door, people won't use the mail as much, and then we won't have to
They want
deliver
people to
it
use
all.
the mail.
Well, they should put a
Because
big
the
bin
guy
in
has
there.
to go and pick it up regardless.
Yeah, but the guy is, sometimes it's too heavy, and they gotta get two guys. They don't want
No,
to send two
that
guys.
never happens.
Sometimes I would put very heavy things in there.
Maybe that's why you put like bowling balls.
I would mail tungsten back and forth, just a few blocks.
I had this book about like
I would mail tungsten to my apartment from the mailbox on the corner every day.
just to see what would happen. Do you remember this book? It was like cool things kids can do or whatever when you were a kid.
What? A book called Cool? Tim? Are you trying to push the Bible on me?
No, you don't remember this book?
No, I don't remember this book.
It's a cool thing.
Oh, was there a commercial for it?
kids book or something.
Did you get it with a subscription
No, I
to a
didn't get
magazine?
it. I didn't subscribe to a magazine.
Well, I'm trying to tell you what I remember about this book. If it's the book I'm
Cool
thinking
things
of.
for kids. It auto completed expensive on. I don't know. It was like, like 100 cool things a kid can do.
Yeah.
And it was like, like some of it was like, here's how to make this arts and crafts or whatever.
Here's how to rob a bank.
Yeah. One of them was like, did you know that you can like send pretty much anything through the mail if you put the address on it and a stamp? And he was like, you can send somebody a banana. You don't have to like put it in a package. And it was like one of the things.
I thought they were going to tell you about the old write matter of the blind on it, and it will get sent through third-class mail for free.
All right, Tom. You have a very weird mind.
I'm just saying that's a way you can get something sent in the mail for free, but it's going to take a while.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe that's not still the case. Maybe now they're like, there's a website or something like, look, if you're blind, we'll send you some stamps. All right. There's too many people sending weird shit and writing matter of the blind. What the hell
are you talking about?
I'm talking about how you could send stuff for free through the mail, Tim. You're talking about cool things for kids to do.
Yeah.
I was reading the Anarchist Cookbook.
You were not reading the Anarchist Cookbook.
Yeah, Tim,
you were too scared to do it.
The ASCII file.
You were too afraid of it.
Tim, this week we're going to talk about Dan Aykroyd.
Canadian treasure. This is part of an ongoing series entitled An Olive Branch to Canada.
Oh, yeah, because things are going on.
Yeah. Hey, let's make March a celebration of Canadian culture.
Sure.
Dan Aykroyd next week will do Mike Myers. After that, we'll do Jim Carrey.
Yeah, all the comedians.
Yeah.
That's, I guess if you're going to be known.
Exactly. A salute to comedian culture. That's what I said.
If you're going to be famous for like exporting a type of person, a comedian's a pretty good thing, right?
And hockey guys.
Yeah. Well, hockey guys, I could take or leave,
They're, yeah, I guess so.
Like, I don't know. Name one current hockey guy.
I don't know any hockey guys.
Exactly.
The thing about that is they got to be tough, but they also have to know how to be graceful on ice.
On ice, yeah.
Which is like, that's a nice combination to have in life, I think.
It is. Tough but graceful.
Yeah. Not a lot of people can pull it off, but I can.
Well, and another man who can, Tim, is Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
We were going to do Dan Aykroyd last week, but we caught up talking about magic.
Yeah, I still have some magic show stuff. Should I talk about it now?
Yeah, you know what? Let's get it out of the way now.
Let's do Dan Aykroyd. Otherwise, listed one of his nicknames listed on IMDb, or the only nickname listed on it, Danny.
Danny.
He's one of these guys, I think, Tom.
Yeah.
That everybody in real life calls him Danny.
Yeah, because whenever you hear people talk about him, he's like Marty and Martin Scorsese. Everybody calls him Danny Aykroyd.
Right.
So yeah, it certainly seems, or at least people that have known him for a long time still know him as Danny. Which, as a Tom, people have known me for a very long time, but mostly family will still call me Tommy.
Right.
And I'm sure you're the same with Timmy.
I get Timmy a lot. And it's like, I never liked Timmy. Even when I was like 5 years old and they were like, Timmy, come over here. It's like, that's a baby name.
My
Don't
name
call me
is
that.
Timothy.
Timothy.
Mother.
All right, Tom. Let's play this game.
Yeah.
IMDb lists the 4 known for.
Oh, okay.
You know this? Like, it lists all their credits.
Mm-hmm.
But
like, what are they known for?
Right.
And things they're either like the lead in, or if they're not the lead, it's still like they had a memorable performance.
Yeah.
It's what people are looking up for them. I would assume.
Exactly. So there's 4 of them. If you can get 2 of them, you will win. No, if you get 2 of them, that's passing.
Okay.
You get 3, I'll be surprised. If you get 4 of them, I'll give you $500.
So they're going to be hard to guess.
Or maybe that's just me messing with you.
Yeah, or maybe you're just being generous.
Yeah. I am a very generous man.
I'm going to guess Ghostbusters, one of them.
You got one. Ding, ding, ding.
Okay. I'm going to guess Casper's one of them.
Was he in Casper?
Yeah. He had a cameo.
I'm sorry. All right, you get 4 guesses. So, like, the $500 is off the table.
Mm-hmm.
But the firm handshake and a good job of 3 correct.
My Girl.
I'm sorry. My Girl is not on the top 4. You have 2 more guesses. Nope, you have 1 more guess.
No, I have 2 more.
No. You guessed Ghostbusters?
Yeah, that one was right.
Yeah.
I get 4 wrong.
Oh, you get 4 wrong? Okay.
Blues Brothers?
No, I'm sorry.
What?
Very close. But
Coneheads.
I'm sorry. That's 4 wrong.
Oh.
You were so very close, Tom.
Okay, I want to hear what they are.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I got that one.
Ghostbusters 2.
No, I should have guessed.
Blues Brothers 2000.
Oh, of course.
What are you doing?
Why? Yeah, but why are you going to watch the old one when the brand new one's out?
And Nothing But Trouble, which I could see like that was his. He wrote and directed it, I think. Right?
Oh, did he?
Did he direct it? I think he did. I think it was the sole movie he directed.
I could also see people like looking him up for like who because he's wearing makeup in it and stuff, you know.
I don't know.
See
I think
if
it's
all
pretty
him.
obvious that that's a Dan Aykroyd. I don't think you watch Nothing But Trouble and you're like, huh. Dan Aykroyd was a part of this?
Well, then how does IMDb decide what these known for things are?
You know
then?
what the irony is? Nobody knows.
Yeah. Wow. Because, it can't be searching. Like, people have to be searching. I don't know. And you don't want it to
and
be
like,
searches
it can be a
because
TV
that's
show
going to be.
too. Like Saturday Night Live, maybe?
Yeah.
Hello, IMDb. Way to respect SNL 50.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Dan Aykroyd wasn't there at SNL 50.
He wasn't, and that was a point of contention for some people.
Oh,
People were like, "Was he angry? Was he mad?" But I think he's just older now.
I think that's the thing. I think he's older, and
He looks like. Look, I don't want to speculate,
so
I won't.
there you go. No, I mean, I was gonna say, like, it could be he's an older guy. It could be a plethora of health issues. That aren't necessarily serious, but like Dana Carvey got the flu and wasn't on it. And it's like, when you're old and you get the flu or something, like, you're not going to fly across the country to go be a part of this thing.
Be a part of this boys club. Right?
And somebody else had like I think Bill Hader said he had like a previous
Scheduling
standing
thing,
issue or whatever, which like I get, like you'd want to be there, but at the same time it's like, are you gonna like give up other work to be there or whatever? Nah.
You see all your friends.
But somebody like
Tom,
Bill Hader
you go to the legendary Studio 8H Rockefeller Center.
Look, don't get me wrong, Tim. If I would be like Jay Moore, who was there.
Really?
I saw him in the audience. Yeah.
Married to a billionaire.
Is he?
Yeah, Jay Moore's life is cool.
Who's the billionaire that he's
like
married
the
to?
owner of, I want to say like the Lakers or the Clippers or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can look it up if you'd like.
Is it like an old man he's married to? Is it like a rich old man?
He's married to a rich old man. No, Lakers president Jeannie Buss.
Okay. You think anybody ever said, hey, why don't we call the team bus Jeannie Buss? We'll put that on the side. Is that her name?
Yeah, it was 2 S's, so you're dead wrong.
You put the 2 S's, but then you cross one of them out.
Yeah. I like Jay Moore fine.
Yeah, me too.
Seems like an affable enough guy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, I've read his book, Gasping for Air.
Well, and I think he was first with the Christopher Walken impression in my mind, and everybody copied him.
Yeah. You know what? I don't care about
it. It's a pretty
also,
obvious
I was
impression.
watching, there was a Instagram reel or something of like a portion of a Christopher Walken interview. I was like, he doesn't talk like all those impressions. He was talking like a normal guy.
Well, when he's doing movies, he talks like that.
Sometimes, I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah,
but
then
that's the times
they're
you
like,
remember.
Jay Moore's like, and now here's my impression of Christopher walking in a diner ordering a breakfast. It's like, no, that's not how he says eggs in real life.
Yeah, well, are you gonna say, "Oh, and here's my impression of Robert De Niro"? Excuse me. No, you can't go. You talking to me? You talking,
Tom? Wouldn't
I don't
you
see
love
anybody else
somebody
here.
being like, and now a Robert De Niro impression, and it's just like his old mumbly self?
I would love that, but
you'd be like, oh, that's the best Robert De Niro impression I've ever seen in my life.
I would love that, Tim, but I'm not the general public here.
How do they shoot him up with amphetamines or something before he films a movie scene?
No, I think a lot of times,
Tim, you ever see it? He doesn't know how to fucking talk.
I know, but I think a lot of times it's that he is so mad at one of the Fockers that like they don't even need to.
Yeah.
He's
just full of natural Fokker related rage.
Yeah.
After all these years, he doesn't always understand that the movies that he's in are just fictional conceits.
He doesn't get it. He's like, why is this guy Greg still doing all this wacky stuff? Enough is enough.
You know what? Greg Fokker did nothing wrong.
No, he did a lot wrong, Tim. He tried to replace the cat with a cat. He did the old sitcom, I'll just get a cat from the shelter and paint it, and nobody will know.
Was that movie?
Yeah.
All I remember is I watched that movie freshman year of college. Mm-hmm. We got like a sneak preview of that movie. And I remember I saw
it was part of tuition.
We got a lot
It was how they sweeten the pot to get
Tom,
you to go there.
I don't know if it was like a test screening or whatever, but like I saw the first ever public test screening of Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah, I remember. I was very jealous.
The filmmakers in the room, like somewhere there, they pointed a video camera at these 40 college kids that were in the little theater.
Somewhere that
them.
footage exists of a young Tim going.
David Wayne watching it, being like, yeah, rubbing his hands together.
Yeah, this kid can't get enough.
I was laughing a lot.
When Tim was in college, he laughed like, yuck.
At one time, I did adopt, and it wasn't intentional.
Different type of laugh?
Yeah, I started laughing like Ernie from Bert and Ernie. I was like...
I mean, that's pretty cool. That's a good
cool.
laugh.
And I don't think it was intentional, but like you don't do something like that on accident, right?
No, it's
just workshopping one day. You know who's a cool guy? You know who hasn't had his due? Ernie. I should pay tribute to him in my day-to-day life.
Man, I remember as a kid always being like, this Bert guy's got to relax.
Yeah, Bert does have to relax. Like, I get it.
This
now.
Ernie guy is such a better hang.
Yeah. I mean, I could see like I wouldn't want to live with Ernie.
No, of course not. Although he seems pretty clean and tidy.
Yeah.
He makes his bed and everything.
And his intentions are good.
Yeah, I bet he still goes to bed at like 5:00 in the afternoon.
Man, Tom, can I tell you something? I went to bed at like 10:30 last night. I woke up this morning feeling the best I've ever felt in my life. And like I had like the smoothest morning and like the easiest day. And I was like, I attribute this to like going to bed at a reasonable hour. You're not gonna get. You can point a gun at my head. I won't do that again for another 6 months. I'll stay up watching an episode of The Pit on Max. And be like, I think this show is fine. I should stay up till 1:30 watching the latest episode.
I'll just stay, and I'll be falling asleep thinking like, boy, I should go to bed.
Yeah.
But I'll just stay up. Like
I'll be watching some bullshit. I'll have my computer on my lap, like scrolling through some shit,
pornography,
and I'll wake like the computer will slam down onto the floor and wake me up. I'll be like, let
me pick that back up and go back to what I was doing and say going to bed.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd, Tim, one of the original cast members of SNL.
Right. One of the not ready for primetime players.
Yeah. He was born in the 50s. Yeah, he's from Canada, like you said.
1952, from what I understand.
He was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome in childhood, and he has self-identified with Asperger syndrome, attributing his intense focus on specific interests, such as law enforcement and the paranormal, to his neurodivergence.
Hmm.
I could see that. Like, yeah, he's very, very fixated on paranormal stuff at the very least.
The law enforcement thing, I guess that makes sense. He was in Dragnet with Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I think he might be like a kind of like a crime junkie type guy too.
Yeah. Also, Tom, where do you fall? Are you pro Aykroyd?
Yes.
I'm enthusiastically pro Aykroyd.
Well, it's not a contest.
Yeah, well, I like him more than you do. Unless something bad has come out about him between recording and
do you?
publishing.
I feel like you don't like. I feel like you think Dan Aykroyd's too corny.
No, I don't think he's too corny.
Because of his like UFO stuff and his Crystal Skull vodka.
I don't think that's corny. It's more of like, here's what I feel like, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
He was so cool early on, and like he was like he's like kind of like, you didn't realize it when you were a kid and watching like he's like a heartthrob, I guess, by like, you know, like
80s standards.
No, I think like now, like people
okay.
like me being like, yeah, I wish I had looked like that when I was, you know, like.
I think that's just the case. I see this all the time. Like people are always posting like pictures of old famous people from when they were young, and they're like, man, this person was so hot. And I'm like, I think it's just because you know how old looking they got.
Yeah. And they look better than they look now, but like,
yeah.
so that's, yeah, I get it. But like, he was cool and he was funny.
Yeah.
And I think he's not like super cool or like funny these days.
Yeah.
But like,
well, he doesn't like do
yeah,
funny or cool things anymore, really.
but that doesn't mean I think he's corny. I'm just like, or maybe
It's
the
more-
corniness is like built in, and it's just like, I don't know, he's doing what he does.
Yeah.
And like, what I really respect about him is that like, he really has just followed like, I have these like interests, these very specific interests. And that's like, that's what I always say.
They
right?
are
like,
UFOs and crystal skulls.
Yeah,
and
just-
vodka.
yeah. And it's like, you do it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I don't drink vodka, but I'd like to get one of those crystal skull vodkas.
I'll get you one.
Because then guess what? Once you're done drinking the vodka, you got a crystal skull, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
but who's gonna drink the vodka? Me? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can just buy a bottle of this, and when you're done, just give me the empty bottle.
No, I want to give you the full bottle, and then when I come over here, you'll be like, oh, would you like a
little
little taste of the skull? Yeah.
It probably looks cooler with the like filled, but I guess you could just fill it with water. And
Yeah.
It'd probably look just as cool.
You could fill it with like orange
These
juice.
are the things Dan Aykroyd doesn't want you to know. You could just find one of these bottles in the garbage and fill it with water.
Who would throw that out, Tom? Nobody.
Nobody. Yeah, the crystal skull. You know about the crystal skulls?
No, tell me about the crystal skull.
It's just they
This is
found.
I mean, I know about the Indiana Jones movie.
I don't think you even.
I know
really
I know
do.
the kingdom of the crystal skull.
Yeah, but tell me the plot of that movie.
So Shia LaBeouf plays
Mutt.
What's that?
Mutt.
Yeah, who's Indiana Jones's son.
Yeah, and who the whole time you're watching the movie, you're going like, boy, I wish this Indiana Jones guy would get out of the way. I could just watch what this guy's up to.
Yeah.
They should make a movie with just him.
Did you watch the new Indiana Jones?
Yeah, and I thought it was good.
Yeah, the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah, the Dial of Destiny. Like, I mean, maybe it's just because Crystal Skull set the like bar very low, and then this was like a mediocre, like not laughably bad Indiana Jones movie. But I kind of liked it. I thought the ending was cool. I won't give it away. But I could get why some people didn't like it and thought it was like a bridge too far.
Yeah, I didn't see either of those new ones because I heard that Indiana Jones in those movies now likes snakes.
No, that No.
Did I hear wrong?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
he still doesn't like him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he hates him, in fact.
Okay, then you
And
know what? Maybe
I
I'll give
don't
him a
remember
shot.
exactly the circumstances, but I believe at some point in the movie he runs into a lot of snakes
Oh God.
and has to tell the people around him about how much he dislikes snakes
Yeah,
in general.
he does. From what I recall from the first 3 movies.
Yeah.
Just not like
Dial of Destiny, worth watching, I'd say.
Okay.
I didn't think it was that bad.
So tell me about the crystal skull.
Oh, it's just they've found these crystal skulls in places. I forget where. It's one of these things where
Why'd you bring it up? This is what I'm asking, Dub.
they found these skulls.
We talked about the vodka.
Look,
We can
here's
move on
what
to-
it is. The skulls are very old, and they don't know how somebody made them because they're made like just so perfectly that even today we couldn't replicate it with the tools we have. And apparently the eyes, if you like shine a light into the skull, the light like projects out of the eyes and like meets, and they're like not even sure how they did that. So it's just kind of this like mysterious object, which there's also
And so he put vodka in them?
no. I mean, they're just like cool looking things. I mean, some people think they're like complete hoaxes that they were made recently and only, the talk. Oh, look, we found this and it's old. But I
Those
don't know.
people are assholes. I've just learned about these crystal skulls, but I think people who deny that they're real.
But it's like a cool looking thing.
Wet blankets.
And there's
Want
all
nothing
this
to
like
do with
weird
them.
lore. That's why there's a Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, because
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of like a, I don't know, interesting iconography. And I think he wisely capitalized on that. Because I'm trying to think of like, what other, if you were going to come out with a vodka brand and you were real into like paranormal and UFO and aliens, like I can't think of something better to serve as like a bottle,
Right.
than a crystal skull. Like, oh, that's a thing. Because like, we can make it in the shape of a Bigfoot. It's like, yeah, but that's not
crystal
a
skull
Bigfoot.
is
A
like-
crystal
yeah.
skull is a crystal
It's a
skull.
crystal skull.
We can just make a crystal skull and
All right.
put it inside there.
I'm shocked that you haven't bought one of these because they're not that expensive.
No, I don't think I've really seen them. I'm not in liquor stores all that often.
Yeah, but you buy 100% of anything you buy online.
You can't. I don't think you can buy vodka online.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know. Well, I don't drink vodka. I don't want a bottle of vodka. I can just go buy a crystal skull, probably a cooler one for the same price.
Let me tell you how much this is.
Okay.
You can't buy it. Where to buy it?
Yeah. See, I told you.
What's your address?
Don't know. Why? Oh, you're putting in my address to see where to buy?
Yeah.
Then it's just going to tell you like this place. It's not going to give you a price. Why are you looking all this up?
It says fucking online stores,
Okay.
and then it's got a link to the website. So cool yourself, buddy.
Me?
Start shopping.
Or
Yeah.
the website? Oh, you had to put in probably to see if they would ship it.
Tom, you think you're so smart, but you're often not as smart as you think you are.
Well, I can't see what you're doing, and if I wasn't
$54.99. There, go look, check it out. I found out the
that's-
price of the
that's
crystal
pretty
skull.
steep, Tim.
Yeah.
I don't even like vodka or crystal skulls. I think they're scary.
What's your favorite Dan Aykroyd performance?
I mean, Nothing But Trouble is a really good movie. Just like a really weird movie.
Yeah, it kind of freaks me out.
Yeah, it's scary. Like, it definitely, I don't know, because it's kind of slapsticky. So when you're a kid, you watch it thinking like, oh yeah, there's just kind of like a goofy movie. But then there's like some parts that are kind of too scary.
Yeah.
Who else was in that? Chevy Chase, Demi Moore.
Yeah, she should have won the Oscar for it.
I don't think she was nominated for the Oscar.
I know.
for
I
this
think
one.
that is the biggest.
Do you think Dan Aykroyd and Demi Moore have kept in touch?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
John Candy was also in that movie.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And Tupac Shakur as
Oh,
part
yeah.
of Digital Underground.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And what's his name? Humpty Hump.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird inclusion. I remember, too, like, watching it as a kid and then watching it, like, as a little bit older of a kid once I was aware of the Digital Underground and being very confused. Like, wait, why are they in this movie? Why is Tupac Shakur in this movie?
Nothing really makes sense. Aren't you going to ask me what my favorite Dan Aykroyd performance
I
is?
didn't say that was my favorite performance. I just think it's like a cool thing he did. But I think
remember when I said, what's your favorite Dan Aykroyd performance? And then you said, I'd have to say Nothing But Trouble.
Yeah, but I take it back. Ghostbusters.
Okay.
He's the heart of it. Like, it works because he's such a big nerd about.
Bill Murray, cool guy in his way through that movie, doesn't work if Dan Aykroyd isn't weird guying his way through that and grounding it, right?
Yeah, and like you've got Egon there, being the scientific person, but like no, you need the nerdy guy who's just like obsessive about it and excited about everything. Yeah, he bounces off of Bill Murray very well.
Yeah. This is what I will say about Dan Aykroyd. I don't think he understands why people enjoy the things that his films and performances that resonate with people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he understands why they resonate. I think he's like, I'm going to do this thing. What everybody loves about Ghostbusters, obviously the lore, right? What people love about Blues Brothers is just like straight performances of blues classics by two white guys.
Well, but here's what I'll say to that, Tim. The fact that he was so into the lore, I think, is a big reason why Ghostbusters is a franchise now.
But nobody likes the fact that it's a franchise.
I mean, a lot of people do that are spending money on all this shit.
No, people go to people do not like these new Ghostbusters movies.
They do. That's
the
why
new Ghostbusters movies people like.
They made money.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Yeah, I mean the first reboot thing like made Afterlife made enough money that they made a sequel to that.
Right, but people don't generally like the movies though.
But they like it enough that they went to see it. I don't know what to say. And like I think somehow even when people don't like those movies, it just like it makes more licensing deals, and then there's more merch and shit out there.
Right.
I'm just saying
but
it was financially successful.
Yeah, sure, but that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. Aren't you gonna ask me?
But you're also, what you're saying is subjective.
What do you mean?
You're saying like, oh yeah, the lore is the worst part, and nobody likes those new movies. That's your opinion. I'm sure there are people that think the movies got better and better.
My opinion is the objective truth.
Well, I think that's where we're running into.
Yeah, I think you're just not understanding me.
A clash of opinions.
Aren't you going to ask me what my favorite is?
What's your favorite Dan Aykroyd movie?
His performance in We Are the World.
Yeah. I mean, I did like in the documentary the fact that even he seems confused about why he's there.
Yeah. It was just like his new agent was trying to impress him, right? It was like, oh, I got an in here. You want to do this? And I think he thought like, oh, a bunch of other actors will be there too.
Oh, yeah. It'll be, a bunch of other like comedic actors. Like, oh, Robin Williams will be there, and Billy Crystal and Whoopi Goldberg.
Wasn't the case.
Yeah.
My other favorite performance, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
What about his performance of the character of you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know.
Weber in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh, I don't.
Weber.
I don't know if I even I haven't seen Temple of Doom in a very,
I watched
very
it for
long
the first
time.
time not too long ago. It's not a good movie.
Yeah,
he has
that's
a cameo.
the one people don't like, right? That like fans, like of the original three, that's like the least favorite, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like
it's
not
a
good
lot
movie.
different
Yeah.
than the others.
But no, he just has a quick cameo in it.
Oh, okay.
I just thought I'd mention it since we went on a big Indiana Jones tangent, and I think we'd get some emails being like, "Hey, you didn't mention that he's in one of the Indiana Jones."
I thought
movies.
that was the whole reason you talked about
It
it.
wasn't. We got there out of that.
I also want to say, before I forget, Tim, I rebutted your Ghostbusters that nobody likes Ghostbusters. I'd also like to rebut your they got the wrong part of Blues Brothers that people liked, because guess what? They turned that into the House of Blues.
Yeah, that's true.
A big, huge chain of successful.
You're naming all of the lamest things on earth
I
to
know,
show how
but-
beloved things are.
I don't think
I don't want to draw out this Ghostbusters argument, but here's what I'm saying, Tom.
I like House of Blues, Tim.
Even people who love the Ghostbusters franchise pretty much do not like Ghostbusters 2.
Right.
And
those people are wrong, though.
like, I think
I think
the financial success of the new Ghostbusters movies says more about the creative bankruptcy of our current era of filmmaking than it does that being a beloved film. It's all nostalgia, right? And it's like,
yeah, but I don't think Dan Aykroyd's bank account cares.
yeah, I know.
I'm just saying, like, Trading Places didn't get turned into a franchise.
Yeah, but people liked that movie better than they liked.
I'm sure more people today like but even the latest Ghostbusters than like Trading Places, just because people haven't. A lot of the people that saw it
Trading
are dead
Places
now.
is a good movie, Tom.
It is a very good movie, very funny movie.
You just like rewinding that one part though.
Which part?
You know what part I'm
No,
talking
I
about.
honestly don't know what.
Yeah, well,
Is there like a naked part or
yeah,
something?
Do the math.
We see Dan Aykroyd come out of the shower.
Yeah. Yeah. He's good. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know why you wanted to do this episode about how bad Dan Aykroyd is. I don't think. No, I think I've seen the original Blues Brothers once.
Yeah, that was one of the like. I can't judge stuff like that. Like, comedies that were like a phenomenon at the time.
Yeah.
And then I see them decades later.
Yeah, and you're just like, I don't really get it.
Yeah, like Animal House, same thing. Where
right.
it's just like,
or it's like, oh yeah, it is funny, but like,
I'm usually like not even. I'm just like I don't even understand. Like, there seems to be 10 minutes between anything that could be like construed as a joke.
Yeah.
Or like, you ever hear like, an older generation be like, in Animal House, that food fight. And it's just like, it's John Belushi yelling, food fight. And then just people throwing food for like 10
it's like,
full
oh
minutes.
boy.
And then like a guy getting hit in the face with mashed potatoes. Okay, that part's funny.
If you like that, I got an episode of Salute Your Shorts that's going to blow your fucking socks off. Blues Brothers. Yeah. Well, I'm seeing in this that he said in the film's success spawned a lasting musical legacy. He reflected in 2024, I really live for my children now, emphasizing family over fame. So I think that's like, I get too that he got involved with like House of Blues and, making his vodka and stuff. I'm sure it got to the point of just like, it's too much of a like pain in the ass to be in things. I'm not going to get cast as the lead in anything.
Right.
It's going to be a cameo nowadays. Or it is going to be like a, supporting part that I'm not going to want to like be away from my friends and family and my thriving vodka business.
Yeah. I think, you tried to turn it around into something negative, but like, I think it's kind of charming that I think he doesn't maybe not doesn't understand. He doesn't care
Yeah.
what like people like about it. It's like he follows what he likes about it, and he's like, oh, you liked this thing because it like intersected with, you know, your tastes, but I'm not going to make the next thing intersect with your taste necessarily unless it's the path that I'm on. Like,
right.
The next Ghostbusters is going to be what I want the next Ghostbusters to be.
Right.
Right.
Even if people don't really like it.
Yeah, and he's just like, I guess it didn't work with people, but it was what I wanted to do. And I think I respect that. Like, he's not trying to like be like, oh, you guys like this, right? Huh?
I didn't know, Tim, that he was nominated for an Academy Award.
Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah, which I've
he
never
played
seen.
Miss Daisy. He was the old lady.
Wow. Well, I can see why they nominated him then.
He had more makeup on than he had in Nothing But Trouble to make him look like that little old lady.
Yeah, they must have had to do some like Lord of the Rings style perspective stuff to make him seem like a little old lady.
And much like in Nothing But Trouble, there's one shot where all the makeup on his nose is shaped like a penis, so it looked like a penis.
Yeah, what a weird thing that was to do in that movie.
Just like in one shot, right?
Yeah, it's in one shot that like a pretty quick shot that his nose looks like a penis. And seems to be there solely for people to go, wait a minute.
Which is like, as a director, to make that choice is very funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's put a shot in here that people be like, oh, is that a dick nose?
He was married to that ghost that gave him a blowjob in Ghostbusters.
Donna Dixon?
Yeah.
I didn't know that she played that ghost. I've only seen Ghostbusters once or twice in my life. But she did play.
I like the idea that he's like, I want to have a scene in the movie where a ghost blows me, but I'm going to have it be my wife.
It's like the Kirk Cameron rule.
Yeah. I don't know if they were. That might have been how they met. I don't think so. I think they were.
What a charming way to meet.
I think maybe they were
How'd
already
you guys
married
meet?
at that point.
I blew him in a movie. But don't worry, I was a ghost.
Yeah.
You know what else you know who else she played?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say, you know how else she blew. I was going to say, what kind of Hollywood gossip show is this? Who?
Garth Algar's dream woman in Wayne's World.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, she was just like a famously hot lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. And back in the 80s and 90s, that was enough. You didn't even have
that was enough to get you in 2 movies that I saw. In non-speaking roles.
Where you were literally just an object on the screen. What else? I'm trying to look at like what he's done. He was briefly engaged to Carrie Fisher.
Really?
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher had an interesting all that 70s stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she was hanging around.
Well, this was in
SNL
1980.
Stuff. Yeah. I mean, that's practically the 70s.
Well, but
the 80s actually start in 1981, Tom.
That's not how math works.
That's how years work. There is a school of thought that aligns with what I just said.
There is a school of rock.
There is a school of rock. It's where I learned to play rock songs with children.
There is a School of Rock franchise not too far from here.
I know.
that I've driven by.
You, hang out outside and they shoo you away.
I'm just here for the music. I try and get middle-aged men to sign my chest on their way in for the day. What else was I going to say
School of
about
Rock for adults?
I think they probably do both.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd, he and Donna Dixon, Tim, they separate in 2022, but they remain legally married.
Okay. Good.
That's like a whole thing nowadays where people get separated and they're like, but we're never getting divorced. Like we're always going to be married. Which is, I mean, it's each their own, none of my business. Yeah. But I just always think like, well,
is it advantageous for tax reasons or something?
Yeah, and Well, and I also think that it's like, is it also like you're at an age where you're like, I'm not going to get married to somebody else? Like,
Yeah, but still, you don't have to be married.
yeah, but I think that might be what it is. That it's like we're separated, so like, you know, people can date or whatever, but we're not divorced.
I'm not saying this is the case with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to work through why that would be.
Yeah.
And I could see in a world, try to poke holes in this, Tom,
Mm-hmm.
where there's a disparity of income or wealth.
Yeah.
And there's no prenup.
Right.
And the person with less,
Mm-hmm.
the person who does not have, who has the least amount of income and
of
wealth,
money. Mm-hmm.
Does something egregious like cheats.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well,
No,
you're in the wrong, but like, we're not going to divorce because I don't want to give you half my money.
No, but I think in those cases, then you can argue like this person cheated on me.
No, but the thing is,
but they're
if
not.
the cheater is the one
who
would.
So like in this hypothetical scenario, he cheated.
No, she would cheat.
Right. But I'm saying, I think if your spouse cheats on you, you have a much stronger case for them not getting as much or anything if you divorce them.
I don't know if that's true, Tom.
I don't know. I think you would have
don't know how the deck is stacked against men in the American court system and in society in general, Tom. And I'm glad you gave me this platform to talk.
Yeah, I forgot that you've been hanging around outside family court recently talking, which I don't even really understand why. But
yeah, I just like talking to like disaffected guys.
yeah.
I want to understand
believe
the
this
epidemic
bullshit?
of male, the male crisis in America, the masculinity crisis.
Well, Tim, I've always admired your desire to do your own research, and I encourage you to continue.
Yeah, I smoke cigarettes outside of family court and wait for the guys to come out and bum one off me. They unload.
I mean, it's pathetic. It's one of the most pathetic things I've ever heard.
It's like in Fight Club when Ed Norton goes to the support groups for diseases he doesn't have.
But at least that was a means to an end. You just
I do this just to feel something and to understand the crisis
see.
of masculinity in American culture, in American society these days. You know what I'm all about these days.
I do. I forgot for a second, but now you've jogged my memory. I'm remembering that is, in fact, what you're all about these days.
Dan Aykroyd, a great man and a Canadian icon. We salute you, Dan Aykroyd.
I think sometimes when you're like you've been married for a while, I think it's more just like, look, getting divorced is going to be like a pain in the ass, and I think probably something like him, it might be like, well, yeah, you would get half my shares of Crystal Skull vodka or whatever, but like I can't give you that in cash. You would get the shares, and maybe she's like, I don't want fucking half the shares. I mean, I have to keep working with this guy.
He's probably just like, all right, we're done here. We're both like living lavish lives.
Yeah.
Let's continue living our lavish lives and like not spend any of our remaining years fighting in court or paying any kind of lawyers.
It's romantic when you think about it.
Yeah, it's the arrangement my wife and I have.
If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgt.com. You can find our links to our subreddit, to our Discord, and to our Patreon, patreon.com/complete guide, where this week, Amazing Facts is back. It's March Amazing Facts.
March Amazing Facts. I got 3 good facts this week, Tom.
Tim, I got more than 3, but I'm only going to dish out 3.
Yeah, we only do 3.
I
That's
know,
the
but
format.
I'm saying I've got like backup facts in case, I've got no matter what kind of fact you come at me with, Tim, I got one that's going to one-up you.
Mm.
My plan is just every time you say a fact, I'm going to say, I heard that happened twice. Patreon. Hey, if that sounds like a great idea of something to listen to. Patreon.com/complete guide. You can get that.
Hundreds of back
Hundreds and
catalog
hundreds and
episodes.
hundreds of
You
back
got other
catalog.
episodes of Amazing Facts. You got books of the podcast.
All
You
kinds
got
of shit.
a whole bunch of shit.
You could spend the rest of your life
Last
listening
week was
to
Fast
it.
Food Friday.
Yeah.
Tom talked about going to McDonald's with a bunch of old people.
Yeah, if you're sitting there going, boy, I really love that part where Tom was talking about how the mail isn't as good anymore. We're gonna hear more of that. Last week's Fast Food Friday.
Yeah. Patreon.com/complete guide.
Any closing thoughts about old Danny Aykroyd?
I liked his performance in Tommy Boy.
Oh yeah, he was good in Tommy Boy. Callahan Auto Parts.
Well, no, that was Tommy.
Yeah. What was his car? What
Oh,
was his company?
God damn it. What is it?
It was like a Mick
Zelensky, Ray Zelensky, yeah.
Ray Zelensky Auto Parts. Oh yeah, that's a forgotten role just because Chris Farley and David Spade are so funny in that movie, but he's really good too.
Yeah. Spies Like Us. Spies Like Us I never really got into.
Really? Spies Like Us is also a good movie. I've never seen Sneakers, and I know
Sneakers is good.
People love Sneakers.
AJ is
it's
going
his
to
favorite
punch you in the
movie.
face when he's... we're all going on a trip together this weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe we should watch Sneakers.
Maybe we should. Yeah, everybody's kids, I'm sure, would love to sit around and watch Sneakers.
What else are we going to do? Not watch Sneakers?
It's true.
Yeah. I don't know. Ghostbusters is good.
All right, we'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.